This week, Taiwan announced it will launch a £700 million credit programme to help fund joint projects between Lithuanian and Taiwanese companies. It comes as Lithuania is under increasing pressure from China to reverse a decision last year to allow the island to open a de facto embassy in Vilnius under its own name. China has downgraded diplomatic ties with Vilnius and also blocked Lithuanian cargo from entering the country. A Lithuanian MP explains.
We don't want to be in a position of not being in a sovereign country in 21st century. This kind of perspective puts everything in a new light. It's two democracies working together and not being dependent in any sense on some third power.
He said China's efforts come right out of the authoritarian playbook, something they are familiar with. In 1990, Lithuania was the first Soviet republic to declare independence after being forced to be part of the Soviet Empire for almost 50 years. Last week, Taiwan announced a separate £150 million investment fund in Lithuanian industries, including semiconductors, to boost bilateral trade.
We want to create economical bounds with liberal democracy as much as possible, because it's a question of time, believe me, it's a question of time when authoritarian regimes fall.
The congressman is also the chair of the Lithuanian Parliament's Taiwan Friendship Group. He says he wants to see the cooperation with Taiwan become a success story other European countries will want to follow.
In China, it's day by day become authoritarian, much more, and it's much of a threat to the rest of the world. It's different China 5 years ago or 10 years ago than it is now, and it's a threat. And European Union's countries will see that. And seeing our example of good cooperation, that would be, believe me, that would send very strong signals.
Meanwhile, China's pressure on the Baltic nation has rippled across the European Union. The EU's Trade Commissioner said last month that China's customs were increasingly blocking exports from EU member states if they contain parts made in Lithuania.
And the attack of China against Lithuania, it's not against Lithuania. Trade in European Union, it's a competence of European Union, not Lithuanians.
The EU foreign ministers are set to discuss China's pressure on Lithuania at their meeting on Friday. Joanna Conway, NTD News.